the healthcare industry doesn't care about you. Um, doesn't give a damn about you. So why should you care about them? They have no interest of curing anything. Um, and so all these myths are just based on the prejudice. So when a person loses weight and everybody congratulates them, they don't care about their health. They just care that they have physically, aesthetically conform to their standards. It is a natural prejudice, and I think it probably has a genetic basis because anyone who's obese could pose a genetic threat to the human species. It seems to be a subconscious thing. Could have a genetic predisposition, maybe part of our evolution, which is pretty ironic considering that human beings have done everything to guarantee their destruction. We build nuclear weapons, we poison our food, we poison the environment, and the earth will still be here. It's we're the ones that are going to go. You know what I mean? So I don't have a prejudice toward obesity. I've suffered obesity myself. I lost a lot of weight, but I realized how difficult it is because your body does what it wants to do, no matter how much you try to change. The only time when I was in the best shape of my life was when I was in the U.S. Navy. But and even the military's attitude about obesity, they don't really have the same. They don't seem to have the answer either. They seem to go with the old, exercise and whatever. And also nutritional deficiency. There is a man who I've been reading a lot about. His name is Joel Wallach. He sells a product called Longevity. I'm not here to advertise his products, but he did say one thing, that nutritional deficiency is one of the answers to a lot of the diseases. Another person, Edward Griffin, he also stated that the causes of most diseases is nutritional deficiency. That includes all the other diseases, cancer, diabetes. You have to put in the right energy. And those who have certain degrees of, insulin resistance, if you lower your carbohydrate, and you have to consider the fact that, I'll give you an example, if you're driving a car and you put in a gallon of gas and it runs 28 miles to the gallon and it only goes 1 mile, the problem is not what you put in, it's how your engine is running. So the digestive system, how your body processes energy, is very important. If the cells are not doing what they're supposed to do, you're not going to, your body will not produce or process energy the way it's supposed to be. And that is definitely, this obesity may have a genetic component, and it does have there's an aspect of it that could be based on a disease. Now, there are people who are not susceptible, who have experimented with themselves, or just became obese, or have gained weight and decided to lose weight. They don't seem to have the susceptibility. They created the condition on their own, and they lose the weight very easily. But some people, it's not that easy. There was one guy who did an experiment where he actually ate McDonald's food for 40 days or something like that, and he gained 40, 50 pounds. Actually he gained I think 70 or 80 pounds. And Super Size Me, I think it was called. And he was not susceptible to obesity. He just created that condition. But he did not have the genetic susceptibility or no diseases that would keep him at that weight. And it took him about 3-4 months to lose all the way back to normal. He was just trying to prove that he proved my point that nutritional deficiency is part of it, because McDonald's food is not nutritionally efficient. It is extremely deficient. And if you combine that with the genetic susceptibility, again, biological destiny is a combination of both. Genetics is, it's a combination of both genetic and environmental factors. Genetics is the gun, and environment pulls the trigger. And again, epigenetics plays a big role. So I hope I've given you a different perspective. And I really don't think that people should be ostracizing or ridiculing obese people. They pose no threat to anybody. I'm not saying that people should be obese, but I don't think that people should be ridiculed. There are people far worse than obese people: drug addicts, alcoholics, heroin addicts, cocaine. They're far a lot worse. I'd rather be next to an obese person than some junkie. A drug junkie. And there's, every other type of person. There are people far worse than obese people. They are not a threat. That's just propaganda. Now they're being associated. They're saying now they're propagandizing that obese people are more susceptible to coronavirus. And again, anybody with a weak immune system will be susceptible to the virus. Coronavirus. I'm not saying it's good to be obese, but that's a separate issue. But you see how people are associating with that virus in order to get people in conflict with each other. So, again, I hope I've given you a different perspective. All those of you who are obese, do the best you can, but try to seek the answers based on this video, and just try to find answers. Try to find think outside the box, because what your doctors are telling you are not. They're only they only advise you based on their indoctrination in medical school. They go to 4 years or whatever, 8 years of medical school, and they're basically basing their advice on the indoctrination, which is basically non-intent. Their indoctrination is not based on curing diseases, based on treating it. So they're not in your interests. You need to find your own answers, and I think I provided something here. I definitely think that nutritional deficiency is the main cause. And there is a genetic susceptibility, but that can be depressed due to nutritional efficiency. Okay, I hope I provided a different perspective. Until next time, I want to wish all my... again, I am not an expert, and I'm not providing nutritional or medical advice. It's just an alternative perspective. You can take the information for what it's worth. If you think I'm incorrect in some of my claims, you can text a comment in the comment section of my video. Until we contact to all my YouTube members, until we contact each other again. Until my next video, I want to wish you all good night, good luck, and may God bless you all.